I have added some new things onto Mercari for people who are interested. I know from time to time people ask me about it, so I figured I'd let you know I've added some new things on there. I've also added a few pieces of clothing since you all like my fashion. Take a look and check it out when you get a chance to. Okay, girl? Let's be friends on Instagram, because I got an Instagram going on. I don't post as regularly as I should, but I'm trying to get better at it, so hopefully you'll enjoy what you see and you can join me over on Instagram. Everyone, it is your girl Gelbeauty-QM here, aka Grace, and today we are going to get into a new series I'm starting, because y'all know me, I always try to come up with new series for eyeshadows to keep you entertained and digging back in your collection for old things. So this series is called Cool Tones versus Warm Tones. So y'all know I love me a cool tone moment, so of course I was going to pull out all the cool tones of my collection and try to use as many as I could. So with this series I found palettes with color stories that have like a warm tone version of the color story and then a cool tone version of the color story in my collection, and that's what we're doing with this little series. Now colorful versus muted has not gone away. I told y'all I was taking a break for the summer so I could film all the eye looks from all the videos that I showed y'all for every Friday for, I think it was, what month was that? I want to say it was the month of May or April, don't quote me, but I have been filming some of those periodically, so some of those be coming up again soon in August like I promised. But we're just starting a new one that we can use probably like maybe for starting winter throughout the rest of the year, because I'm gonna try to finish out colorful versus muted throughout the fall, and then when winter comes we can start with these cool tones versus warm tone situation. But if you like a good dupe video, this is definitely a place for you. I have about 3, 4, 5 different series of versions of dupe videos. I dupe fragrances, I dupe makeup, I dupe eyeshadow palettes. So if you love a good dupe moment, this is definitely a place for you. I'm actually wearing a dupe on my eyes right now, or not a dupe, an alternative. I have this series called Why You Don't Need, and I show you why you don't need to buy the latest eyeshadow palette releases, because you most likely have the same colors in your collection. I also like to review new eyeshadow palettes even though I tell you already have them. So I recently did some newer palettes. I should have thumbnails of them going up as we're talking about it. I do the latest fragrance releases, so again I'll have some of those pop up as to whatever the latest fragrance is. I try it out. If you like more fashion content, vlogs, soft girl lifestyle type things, then my membership is probably the place for you. That's where I do a lot of things like that. You get a monthly vlog, you get exclusive content that's not seen on my channel. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, then definitely head on over and check out what the membership has to offer. I think it's only $2.99, so it's reasonably priced, and you just get more fashion and vlog type content in addition to like luxury soft girl lifestyle things. I review candles and stuff like that over there as well. And I do a lot of 3 looks, 4 looks, 1 palette with new brands I'm trying out, so you get the tea and dish on the first impressions on things like that. Without further ado, let's get into this video because I feel like I rambled a lot. So let's get started, girl. So I have a lot of warm tone and cool tone versus. I actually have one what do you call it, one collab brand in here. I noticed though that a lot of the brands were like that I was pulling were like similar brands, so I tried to kind of keep those together, if you will. So certain brands just like to have certain color stories, I'm noticing. But let's get started. So the first warm tone and cool tone situation, or I guess this one be more neutral, is the Beaute Flare palette up against the Nobla Secret palette. I always want to say Secret Garden, I don't know why, because Secret Garden is actually the Beaute Bar palette. But yeah, so here's what both of them look like. You see how they have similar color stories though? So like this one to me definitely screams more warm, and to me this screams more like neutrally or the cool tone leaning side, if you will. So I'm not saying they're exact, but I feel like the color stories are similar and they're each giving a similar vibe. Like this one's like, look at me, I'm warm, and this one's like, I'm more neutral, cool, or I guess maybe muted, if you would. So I feel like it would be fun to have both of these in here. We will do videos with each palette side by side as I normally do with the colorful versus muted series. So I'm just showing you in this video what you can look forward to in the future. But yeah, so I just felt like both of these gave me a similar vibe, but they each had a different tone set to them as far as cool and warm. Now they do both have pinks, as you can see here, and they do both have like the bluish type tones, if you will, but one has neutrals as far as like more traditional neutrals, and this one has more like the warm tone orange neutral. So that's why I felt like it would be good for this series. So that's it side by side. Now I'm sad because Nobla hasn't come out with an eyeshadow palette in forever. Now they're doing that whole magnetic system setup, which I'm not necessarily personally crazy about. You can comment down below and tell me how you feel about it. They did have these magnetic ones that looked really cool. I'm trying to remember if I ordered it or not, because I told one of y'all I wanted to do it, but I don't know if I don't even remember if I ordered it or not. I know I'm horrible. But the next one we have, which is cool tone versus warm tone situation is the Gothic palette from Cosmic Brushes. This was the first time they did a Halloween palette alongside the Ace Beauty Aura palette. This was their Christmas release, I want to say for 2023. It might have been 2022. I don't 100% remember. Now personally, I feel like this one just gives me a little bit more warmth and coolness, because I feel like it gives the warm olivey type green tones, and it gives you like warm berry type tones, where I feel like this gives more cooler, crunchier vibe to it because of these deeper tones right here. Again, you can comment down below and tell me if you agree or not, but that's why I deem this is more of a warm tone one and this one more as a cool tone one, because that's the vibes they personally both give me. Now they're both giving monochromatic. If you like monochromatic, I guess you could decide which one you prefer based upon what your preference is when it comes to those sorts of things, but I like each one for different reasons as usual. I think I did a battle of both of these. Do not quote me. I'm not 100% sure, because some of these I've done other videos with already on them. So if you're interested, you can just type in the search bar on my channel the name of the brand, and then everything should come up from that brand. But I'm interested to put these side by side if I have not before, because I feel like I showed them side by side, but I didn't necessarily do eyeshadow looks side by side. The next one I have to talk about, I was kind of shocked by it and I didn't really think about for a while, but I was like, I feel like it could be. Now with this one, you all might feel it's kind of a stretch, but you know. Oh, I should have put this one at the top. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, I will put this one at the top. So this one to me is really similar, in my personal opinion, and it's a perfect example of a warm tone palette versus a cool tone palette. So the next one we have is cool tone versus warm tone. This is the Adept Cosmetics and Amy Loves. The rest of the palettes we're going to be talking about are from Adept. That's why I was telling you, I feel like a lot of them are like one brand or the other brand. So like the last 3 are from Adept and the first 2 were from Ace Beauty. But this is the Nabla Soul Blooming palette up against Amy Loves Makeup and Adept Cosmetics. So if you all remember, I wasn't necessarily crazy about the Amy palette. I liked some of the colors in it. It's just my issue was the pinks. Like none of them are actually pink, and it's like if I want to do a pink eye look and I'm expecting the shimmer to be pink and then it's not, I'm feeling some type of way. That was just my personal feeling on it. But as you can see, I feel like both of these really give similar tones, and as you can see, this is just a cool, warmer version of Amy's palette, if you will. I feel like it'd be fun to possibly pair these together, because I know I would actually get pinks out of this one, whereas her pinks are not pink. If you can't tell, I'm still jaded by that. But no, this is what both of them look like side by side. So I'm trying not to show the bed and trying to make sure that you can see the colors the way they're supposed to be, because it's hard with this reflective packaging. Hopefully it's working right there, but see, I feel like these are really similar. You have those like blues she has, you have some pinks, and you have some neutrals, and that's what she did. She just did a cool tone version of this palette, in my personal opinion. So I'm interested to pair these side by side and see how they work. So this is actually the palette that inspired me along with this one to start this series, because I was like, I wonder how many other things in my collection are similar like that, because to me these are really pretty obvious that they are similar. And no, I'm not saying she tried to copy them. I'm sure she came up with her own experience, and since, like I said, people haven't really been checking for Nabla recently, I'm sure it wasn't like, oh, I saw that Nabla Soul Blooming palette, I'm gonna copy that as inspiration. I don't think that's what she did, and I'm not saying that's what she did, just so we're clear. Okay, so the next one we have cool tone versus warm tone. We have the Cyborg Choir from Adept Cosmetics alongside the Nomad, what is this, Province palette. Now this one, I'm not saying is exact, I just feel like it gives me similar vibes, and it has enough similar colors in it, in my personal opinion, for it to be in here. So that's why I picked it. Now they're not exact. I feel like the pinks in here are warmer, but you notice they both have that like blackish shade. They both have those purples. They both have the yellows. It's just they have pinks and they don't have the reds. But otherwise, I feel like they're giving off similar vibes, but clearly I feel like the one from Adept is giving a cooler version of this palette. This is definitely pulling warmer with a small cool tone section. But I feel like since the majority of it was warm, we could put it on this side, you know. So there you go. I am interested to see how these will go side by side, especially how this blackish gray is going to go against this blackish gray in this palette. Those are the 2 main things I'm interested in. I've already compared this palette to the Stargazing palette from Nomad as well, if you're interested in checking that out, because I feel like those are similar in color story to where they're both more of the cool tone side and not the warm tone side. That's why I wanted to put this one against it in this series, so I feel like they would be similar. So I hope you all are excited about this, because you know I'm kind of excited. Now the last one I was kind of nervous about, because I was like, when I put it in the initial video, I don't know how you all felt about it, but I told you that's how I felt about it in that video, so that's why I did that. Now this is the newest palette at the time I'm filming this from Adept Cosmetics. So next cool tone versus warm tones we have is the Legend of Ardra palette. I always say that wrong, against the Passion in Paris from BH Cosmetics. I feel like these are somewhat similar, and I'm not saying they're exact. I feel like they give me similar vibes though. But I feel like this one to me is a little bit more, I guess, more neutralish cool tone, and this one might be the possible warm one. I'm not exactly sure, but it's like I know they give me similar vibes in contrast, so I figured I would like show them side by side. Now this one I feel like you might feel like I'm a little bit off base, and I can totally understand because it's like it doesn't have the purple, but I mean, well, actually it does have the purple. I feel like it doesn't have that like weird blurplish shade, and that's kind of what threw me off initially. But I feel like there are other palettes in my collection that possibly look similar to it, but this is the one I chose to go with. So this one, now every single one I put in this video, we might not do look side by side with. Like this one I might change my mind, I might not necessarily do, but I did want to put it in here and show to you just to give you an idea. I did put this in the video when I did the initial video for comparisons as well, so just keep that in mind. I didn't do a look with it or do swatch comparisons, but I did show you that I feel like this one could possibly be similar to this one, so just something to keep in mind. But those are all the palettes I had to show you in today's episode. I already have, I think, like 10 of them sitting out to do this series, so I'm gonna have like 5 more. I have to film it another time. I'm not filming it today. I need to go film the Botanicals palette from Beauty Bay. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Comment down below and tell me if you're excited and which one you want to see first, because I probably will have already done the eye looks by now, and then that way I'll know which one to schedule first based upon what you like and what you watched. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe to the membership down below if you're interested, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.